Hi everybody, it's Friday and we're here in the Healthy Eats classroom. This is the Health Tips series. My name is Renee. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator for the Memorial Foundation, and we're so glad you're here, and we hope that you'll share this video and our other Health Tips videos with all your friends on Facebook and all the other social media platforms that you may have disposal to. So before we get started, I'm going to pass the baton to Inika and Elena here in a moment. But if you're new, I want to let you know that our Health Tips series, we do it every Friday or most Fridays. They're usually videos, and we bring to you different small tips around movement, mindfulness, nutrition, purpose, belonging. A lot of these tips and folks are associated with Yakima Valley Memorial, who is a benefactor of the Memorial Foundation along with Children's Village, and others are really engaged, supportive community members. And so we hope that you'll help support them and support the hospital, the Memorial Hospital. I want to let you know how you can find out more information. If you go to memfound.org, you'll learn about the initiatives that the Memorial Foundation helps support here in Yakima. Specifically, our health tips is around supporting, sustaining a healthy and vibrant community. So it's called Healthy Yakima there. And we want to thank our title sponsor for this series. It's Yakima Federal Savings and Loan. So thank you for them, and thank you to all our donors. So I'm going to turn the camera around here and introduce you to our host, Elena Moon. She's the owner of Healthy Eats Classroom. And our other host, Inika Ojanen. She is our registered dietitian today. And we're gonna do a fun program. Excite your taste buds. Y'all are on. Hello.
Hi. Well, welcome everyone. So as Renee was saying, excite your taste buds, but we also thought with how hot of temperatures we've been having, thankfully it's been a little bit cooler, but I think we're going to get to the hundreds again this weekend. We're also going to incorporate how to stay hydrated, and so that's also, so excite your taste buds, but also stay hydrated and incorporate some nutrition tips along the way. But Elaine is going to start with the first recipe.
Yeah. So. Again, my name is Elena, if you don't know who I am yet. And I actually borrowed a recipe from my good friend Chef Jason. He teaches here at the Healthy Eats Classroom, and he came up with this delicious cauliflower and hearts of palm ceviche. And typically ceviche is made with seafood, but we're using a healthier, kind of fun take on it. Again, very refreshing. A good recipe for when it's super hot out. I was baking something the other day, and my husband's like, "You cannot be turning on the oven right now." I was like, but I want to bake this blueberry cake," and he's like, "No." So I've been trying to come up with recipes that don't involve any heat, and this one just really fit the bill. It's really, really pretty, so it's a great one for the summer. So just a few things that I have in the bowl: a little bit of red onion, some yellow and red bell pepper. Down here kind of hiding, it's my cauliflower, and then a little bit of jalapeno, some hearts of palm, and I brought a can to show you. Hearts of palm you can find in most grocery stores in the canned vegetables section. They are a very interesting vegetable, if you will. They are actually from a palm tree, but they have this kind of layered center. So there's this middle, and then this outside part tends to be more on the chewier side. So I think for something like this where it's soaking in an acid, it is going to help break that down. But if you're using a salad, using this for a salad, you can always try it and just see if it's too woody. If it is, you can simply just peel this top layer off, and then just use the center part, which just pops out pretty nicely here. And then you can cut this up and use it. You can shred this because it just looks like
string cheese.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. But this is the softer part of the hearts of palm, and so feel free to try this out in other recipes. Actually, I was thinking it would be really good in your recipe too, that she's going to show us later. But yeah, this is kind of the heartier part of it, so you can definitely toss this or try it out if you want. For this, it worked out nicely because I put everything into a chopper. And my chopper I just got off of Amazon. I use this smaller blade, And you can definitely keep everything chunkier in the recipe. I think it says to slice some things or dice some things. And I like chunkier things, but honestly, I'm more of a hydro veggie kind of gal. I like to kind of mix everything together, kind of keep it small and petite size. It's easier to shovel it in that way for some reason. I think it's just better compact in that way. And if you're gonna use this as like a salsa or a dip, then it's perfect. This is the perfect size. But get yourself one of these if you're gonna be doing a lot of chopping like this, or you're trying out some more plant-based recipes. My friend Linda told me about this and it's changed my life. I have one of these at home and it's just awesome.
So how much time do you think with using that it took you to chop all that up?
5 minutes.
Yeah, so I know when I was just looking at that bowl, I was thinking, oh my goodness, that's really uniform. And Elena has some knife skills that we might not all have, versus this, no skills required. Just don't cut off your fingers. And maybe 5 minutes. So again, also part of these classes, we want to make these recipes doable for you and easy and fast. And who wants to cook when it's hot?
No, not me.
Yeah?
Not me. I don't want to wear my hair down when it's hot. Yeah, that's a great tool to have. I wouldn't say it works on all vegetables, but most vegetables it works great. And I use it on the Roma tomatoes, which tends to be not as watery of a tomato, so it worked perfectly for that. But you can see it got things very uniform, and when we mix it all together, it'll look like a nice cohesive kind of salsa. Yeah, if I was to chop all this by hand and make it look this good, probably 20 minutes. But the chopper, you can easily just kind of cut the chunks off of it. You put it in there, you hit it, and it's great for kids because if you don't want them, chopping a bunch of stuff by hand and using a knife, you can get everything kind of pieced for them, and then they can just put it in there and hit it. It's also good stress relief, but which I will say I've used it for that before. But,
beat the heat and shed the anger.
Yeah, there you go. Mental health awareness. We also have some cilantro in here, which is one of my favorite things. And we're just gonna give this a big toss together. If you're having a little gathering, make this. It's really nice and refreshing. You can put this on tostadas or even in a taco. Make like a vegetarian cold taco where you don't have to like cook or heat up anything. I even put my cauliflower in that chopper. I just kind of sliced the cauliflower, added it to the chopper, and it made these nice little beautiful pieces. And then I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of lime juice. You can use lemon, lime juice, you can use orange juice, you can use really whatever acid or citrus that you have at home. We're gonna give that a toss. This is one of those things that the longer it sits, the better it gets. And if you let it sit for a little bit longer in your fridge, so make this a couple hours ahead of time, it's just going to get better and better. Those tomatoes are gonna help release some of those juices. So we're gonna add just a little bit of salt to this. There's a lot of veggies in there. You can add a little bit of pepper to this. I'm actually gonna leave the pepper out because I like to serve this. Inika might not agree with me, but I like to serve this with hot sauce.
Ooh.
Yes. So this is my favorite hot sauce to do with a ceviche like this. And it is spicy. I will not add it in because some of my friends here might not appreciate that very much. But I like spicy food. And when you're talking about waking up your taste buds, exciting your taste buds, little citrus and some hot sauce, that'll do it for you.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna plate this up, and there's our salad.
While she's plating, I thought I would just say a little bit more about the Hearts of Palm. So what's also really interesting about it is that it's also a really good source of copper and zinc, which we really never talk about copper and zinc in nutrition. But that is something that if you're following 100% plant-based, that your intake might be a little bit lower. And so Hearts of Palm is just something that a vegetable that we don't really think of, might not use, but there is some benefit into it. So for example, copper, 70% of your day's worth of copper. So just again shows it's not necessarily from a vitamin and mineral that we need it from, but from a variety of fruits and vegetables. Just about staying hydrated, the ceviche I think is a great example Our fruits and vegetables are at least 80%, but most of them are 90% plus water. So a lot of times the question I get about hydration is, well, how much am I supposed to drink? And I'm always like, well, it's not always that classic 8 cups. So if you're eating the recommended fruits and vegetable servings in a day, now it's fruits and veggies matter more. It used to be 5 a day, then it changed to 9 a day. Now it's the more the merrier. Your hydration is a lot going to come from those fruits and veggies. You might not have to drink quite as much water as someone that's having just the chips. Ooh, she has fun scoop chips.
Oh yeah, I thought those would be super fun.
And then something like this, I think this is a great thing, is so again with our heat and everything, we can get salt. So as we are sweating, we lose electrolytes. We will get electrolytes like calcium and potassium from these fruits and vegetables a lot better than other foods. And then so adding salt to like the ceviche or these other ingredients or from our chips is also a way of replacing electrolytes without using something like a Gatorade or a Powerade. So we can get these things from real foods too. That looks incredible, and it looks like Elena started one just to dip right into.
Yes, I had to try it. Well, and unfortunately, Inika, I already put hot sauce on this one, so
Non-spicy.
this one
It's
is
the
fine.
non-spicy
That's
one.
You can have the bowl. The bowl is
No,
not
that's okay.
spicy.
That's okay. So,
I'm gonna snack
Maybe-
while you make fruit.
or maybe she has to like take a look at it as you're.
Yeah.
So our other recipe, we do have a lot more like Mexican theme today, and so this one is a cactus salad with pinto beans, or it's also known as ensalada de nopales con frijoles de la olla, which, yeah, who knows if I
Nice
even
job.
said it correctly. I tried. So one of the things that I cheated with is with a nopales. Nopales is typically, and I was gonna buy one, but I was at Ray's on 3rd, and Ray's on 3rd lets me cheat because nopales, they have it come in this wonderful container, pre-cut up and everything. So the prickles are, all the spines and everything are removed, and they're ready pre-chopped. And it can be when it's raw, it can be sticky, or sometimes people describe it as a little slimy. The easiest ways to take it off, and again, I was going to show you how to do it, but all of their nopales leaves at Ray's were huge, and I didn't want a huge one, so I just got the diced ones. But easiest is to use your spoon to scrape off each of those cactus prickles instead of a knife. A spoon, you will not cut yourself. A knife, you will. And then on the edge of the nopales, you will also have a lot more spines, and so use a vegetable peeler to go around the edge. If you need a visual, we can always put a link for a video on how to do that. But this is more traditional to, and I learned this from my Hispanic Latino friends, is when you have your nopales cooking, we do need to cook it, you put in some cilantro in your cooking water, you put in lime, and you also put in onion. And these are just to flavor as it's cooking. The purpose is really not, we're gonna just take these out and we'll drain the nopales, we'll rinse it in some cold water. The nopales was previously the bright green, kind of like bright green like the cilantro right here. And although this still needs more cooking, it does end up turning this kind of olive green color once it's cooked through. As you can see, it's still trying to come to a boil, so hopefully before we're done today, we might be able to get this all assembled, but we'll work on it. I didn't have my water quite hot enough at the beginning of our class. So our nopales is cooking. I do like the texture and the freshness of this, either from getting the nopales a bit fresh or whether it's pre-chopped. You can actually get it in a jar, pre-cooked and everything. I've done that in a pinch when I really didn't really care and I was just eating it. And that would be in the Mexican section of most of your grocery stores. It is also the least expensive if you're also looking at that. Oh, look, it's coming to a boil.
All right.
Probably turn that down a bit.
It's exciting. Boiling
So-
during the show.
There we go. But it's also, nopales is known as prickly pear cactus. It's a good source of fiber. Also has some calcium, magnesium, manganese, which is a nutrient, a mineral that we don't often think about, but it is in there as well. And just like most of our fruits and vegetables, we have a lot of vitamin C and also vitamin A. Even though vitamin A is more associated with orange, it's also in green vegetables. Already in our bowl, we have some cilantro again. Now, the portions I have here, it's more of like a batch and a half, because the recipe you will see it does say 2 cups of pinto beans. I did 2 cans, which is closer to 3 cups, because I had extra of the Nepalese, and it's so good that I want to have more, and I'm just going to eat through it because I don't want to cook during the heat. We have some tomatoes. These are Roma tomatoes that we have seeded, some onions, and we'll end up just squeezing some lime juice again to make the flavors pop, and also add some salt to that. So again, as that Nepalese, I cut my lime the other way just because I was putting it in the, there we go. And honestly, with this bigger batch, I know this is just half a lime, so I'm probably gonna add another half a lime, so a full lime, since I put my other lime in my Nepalese water. We'll end up adding some salt to taste, and that's gonna be everything. If you are going to eat it right away, add your avocado. I just diced this up. If it's gonna wait, I would say wait to add your avocado. There is some lime juice in it, but probably not enough to keep it from going brown. Your recipe does give you the option of adding some queso fresco. I'm gonna put it right in because we're gonna eat it. Yay! Optional whether you want that or keep it dairy free. I've actually never added any dairy to it because I think it's awesome by itself.
I wonder if you could use the Violife feta cheese.
I'm sure you could.
It crumbles really well. It's a dairy-free cheese.
Yep.
You get it at grocery outlet for like $1.99.
Yes.
But it kind of has that like salty.
Yes, it does have that salty taste.
Crumbly Parmesan kind of flavor.
So, this is like a wonderful avocado.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I know. So, Fred Meyer was my friend today. They had like the avocados were ripe, the mangoes were ripe, like everything. So again, we'll have to add our Nepalese in a little bit. We'll wait and season it with salt once that's done. But that's at least a start to this salad.
And we can post a photo later of the completed dish.
We'll get it up. Don't worry.
Awesome. I know, speaking of getting it up, Lori was back there laughing at me because I was trying to see how high I could pile the ceviche.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I did it with only dropping 2 pieces. So
Great job.
But yes, that's isn't that so pretty?
Very
You
pretty.
can see like coming out at like a party and like
Yes.
having this really beautiful dish. You could use this as a topping too. So like if you're grilling vegetables, you can add it to the top for like a bright flavor. If you have some other sort of protein with it, you can add it on top for a really nice flavor. So just a really fun, easy dish. And I'm going to show you another one that uses papaya. And for those who don't know, papaya is actually good for digestion. It has digestive enzymes in it. They make chewable papaya tablets that you can have after meal to help with digestion, or you can just have some papaya. I have a love-dislike relationship with papaya. If I really think about the flavor of papaya, I'm like, this is interesting. I'm not sure if I like this. But once it's mixed into stuff and it has other flavors with it, it makes sense. But on its own, papaya is a little confusing for me, and I think a lot of people kind of feel that way about papaya. They're like, it smells a little weird, it might taste a little funny. Put it into a smoothie, you're not even gonna know, it's gonna taste really good. I wanted to show you the inside of a papaya because it is a little like interesting, alien-like. But it has these little seed pod-like things in them. Don't eat those, they're gross. We're gonna peel this, and I didn't peel it yet, but I'll peel it. And I should say, when you're choosing a papaya, you want one that has a little bit of yellow to it. You don't want it to be squishy, but kind of like an avocado, it's gonna have a little bit of give to it. And yes, Fred Meyer actually did pick me out a really nice one for the click list.
Ooh, nice.
But got some color to it. So it's not just completely green, it's got some yellow in it, a little bit of orange. So that's how you know you have a ripe papaya, a good papaya. And so to scrape this out, all you're gonna do is just take a spoon, and I like to kind of dig into the fruit a little bit, because you're not just gonna be getting the seeds, you're also going to be getting that white pithy look. So any of that white stuff, I have left it on my papaya before, and it is very bitter and very unappealing. So take that off. And I kind of just take my spoon and dig in a little bit just to kind of scrape off as much as that white I can get off here. So until it's nice and clean. And then once you peel it, you can dice it, and then it's ready for the smoothie. And this is a great tip for smoothie makers in the morning. Take your smoothie ingredients. I have my flax seeds in here, my ground flax, my banana, my mango. The recipe calls for pineapple. I'm using mango instead, and a little bit of the papaya. But make little bags like this and throw them into your freezer the night before. That way everything's nice and cold. You don't have to add ice to it, just a little liquid, and it's off to go. You can also put your spinach in there too and freeze your spinach. It's just gonna make it that much more cold, but it'll blend up just fine. So I'm gonna add all of this, and look, it's like all ready to go. I don't have to like cut my banana, chop my papaya, it's all done, little baggies. And you have a couple of options for the liquid. You can do a non-dairy milk. This is an Almond Breeze. You can use, this is a coconut almond milk. You can do straight coconut milk if you want to make it feel a lot more tropical. You can also do a coconut water. And coconut water is great for hydration. You just want to make sure that you get coconut water and not coconut juice, because coconut juice can have added sugars to it, but it can also be the sweeter part of when a coconut matures, it gets sweeter. So you want to look for coconut water. This is one of my favorites. My mom introduced me to this. It does have an interesting kind of flavor to it, but mixed in with everything else, it's really good. But as you can tell, it has kind of like a pink look to it, and that kind of happens over time as the coconut water sits. It's perfectly fine to drink, but this is great for hydration.
High in potassium.
Yes, and high
So
in
again,
potassium.
electrolytes.
There's a ton of potassium in this whole smoothie,
Yes.
which is awesome. So I'm
So
gonna
we don't need Gatorade or Powerade.
No, I know.
This tastes way better.
My daughter went to camp and they gave her Gatorade, and I was like, no. I let it ride for the week, but she's gonna be trying this smoothie when I pick her up from camp today, because it's really, really good, and I don't think she's even gonna notice that there's any spinach in there besides the color. So I'm gonna give this a blend. So Renee, if you want to follow me back here. So let's turn this guy on. You might want to put it like on your life wish list, because it just pulverizes everything. If you were to do this in a regular blender, it would do just fine, but it is going to have some green chunks in it. But that's our smoothie. And if you're making smoothies at home regularly and you want to add some greens to it, your more of your whole, how do I want to say this? Less of your you don't want to use berries with greens in a smoothie because it tends to turn brown. So I like to use more of these tropical fruits like the papaya, the pineapple, mango, even some of your melon would work fine for that. So I'm going to get this poured into my glass. And obviously when you're at home, you're not going to get super fancy with this and like make garnish and all that. Well, I want to be super fancy today, so I'm going to add a little bit of my papaya for garnish. But there's our smoothie. You can't taste the green. I think some people hesitate when they see green smoothie and they're like, what is this? But my daughter is not a fan of green things, and she will drink this because she can't taste it. She says, Mom, if I can't taste the green, I'll eat it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine with me. So I'm just gonna add a little wedge. Oh, that one gave up. Try a different one. How's your cactus doing?
It is looking great. So,
I'm gonna finish this up and we'll see what.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
so that is the color of your cactus once it's been cooked through, and I drained it. I removed the onions. I forgot. I was gonna grab some garlic cloves, but I forgot to add that in there. But you don't use this. You just toss the rest of that out, and we're just gonna use the cactus. And then what I also did is I rinsed it under some cold water that will help it be room temperature for the salad. You can eat this room temperature or cold. But also, since Nepalese is known to be a little slimy or a little sticky, even once it's been boiled, by just rinsing that off, you won't get any of that. If you just let it sit like this in your fridge, it will get a little slimy again. So if it wasn't mixed with anything and you did this ahead of time, I'd rinse it one more time before you added it to your salad. This salad is delicious. You'll eat it in plenty of time that the salad will not have that texture at all. So don't be worried about that. Again, rinsing it is how you prevent that. So we'll just add that. I did add some salt already, but we'll taste it again and see if we need to add any more salt. This is also, again, this can be used as a side. You know what? One of the meals I like to add this to is if I have tamales, because tamales can be kind of heavy. They're a lot of corn, so pretty starchy, depending on what your filling is. And although we do have beans, we could definitely add some more tomatoes or a few more other non-starchy vegetables to that. But this could be an easy, like more veggie side or a lighter side to your tamales. So this is what it looks like. I think it needs a few more tomatoes, honestly. So, but we'll get that dished up for presentation, and those avocado chunks look amazing. So,
Yes.
and I can smell the lime. Although it might need some more, but it's a great start. So, we have our smoothie, we have our ceviche, and now this.
What a nice little lunch.
I know. We're gonna all eat good today.
I know.
This is awesome.
That's the best part of this.
I know, is getting to eat. So while she's finishing up plating that, it's my tongue tied today. So just a few things that you can get involved in coming up. We have started cooking classes here again.
Yay!
And actually, I know they're hands-on classes. You get to interact with people and eat a full meal. And Ineka's teaching one tonight that's sold out. And then we will have another one next Thursday called Southern Cooking. And I'm bringing out some recipes that I grew up eating, but healthier versions of them. Some peach cobbler, some mac and cheese that's dairy-free and gluten-free, so it's good for everyone. But there were some really fun recipes. You can find that on my website, healthyeatsnutrition.com. And while you're there, you can also check out my new cookbook, Cooking Healthy, which is an ebook now, and will be in print on August 1st.
Yes.
So, yay.
So exciting.
Yeah.
So, and join us next month. Again, always the second Tuesday of every month. So in August. Why is it Tuesday?
Tuesday, Friday.
Tuesday. I have no clue where that came
That's
from,
all right.
but that's okay. That's why we have two of us to keep us straight. Friday, it's never been Tuesday, it's always Friday. If you have any recipes or topics that you're interested in, when I was looking at August, there's no really super fun nutrition month theme to that, and so it's a free-for-all. You won't know what you get until we get there.
So let us know. Leave us a comment.
Yes. So we already got some things planned for future months, but yes, let us know what you're interested in for August and join us.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
for joining us.
everybody.